The origins of South African world music are undoubtedly bonded with jazz, but what it's bonded even closer to is apartheid. Poverty breeds optimism. At the roots of South African world music lies a musical style known as Marabi.
Marabi is a musical structure built around an endlessly repeated three-chord progression that is commonly used in South African jazz.
Marabi was the music of the poor. It was most often played in slums and townships and grew to be incredibly popular among these communities. However, it was even more popular in shebeens, establishments that served alcohol to black people despite restrictions. Fast forward to the 1930s, a cappella is now really cool, taking inspiration from European church choirs. This a cappella style of singing, also known as mbube, meaning lion in Zulu, quickly spread from the Natal to nearly every area of South Africa.
Mbube was a new style that was created in the 1920s where dancing and a four-part harmony was used.
This period brought us one of the most notable African recordings in our country's history. Solomon Linda's in the Evening's Mbube was most likely the first African recording to sell over 100,000 copies. This a cappella recording would lately come to be the classic The Lion Sleeps Tonight. Around the same time did Afrikaans music begin to grow in popularity. Afrikaans music was influenced primarily by Dutch folk music, but it also included elements of American country. Today, Afrikaans music is more likened to pop than folk or country, but traditional Afrikaans music artists still exist today. In the 1950s was the next big breakthrough for South African world music.
Willard Sele, born and raised in a South African township, discovered a technique called penny whistle jive, where the player would blow into the flute at an angle.
This is footage from the movie The Magic Garden, in which Sele himself plays penny whistle jive in the opening scene.
Penny whistle jive was one of the first musical styles to become a commercial phenomenon and win an international renown.
Umbakanga was formed when rural African jazz aficionados and musicians were unable to gain recognition in urban areas due to apartheid laws. Umbakanga is described as a mixture of Marabi and Kwela with modern instrumentation and has been thought of by rural tribes as musical daily bread, which is where it gets its name. Simon Nkabinde, a legend of the genre, died a poor man. Musicians of Umbakanga were never paid much.
Today, South Africa is a thriving component when it comes to world music, having sparked internationally popular and diverse genres like Kwaito, which is traditional South African rhythms mixed into house or trance music, SA rock, and African gospel.